And we are live. I see one watching, but that is probably just me. So I have a moment now to do the usual, which is share this around and get more people to come and say hi. Feels very weird to be doing this on my own. It's been a while. Well, I guess it's been a few weeks, something like that, because I did do one like last month or something. I have no idea. Hey, Stephen, how's it going? I'm just sharing this link. So I will be giving my full attention in a second. Yeah, so it's just going to be me here today. And, well, whoever else joins to keep me company and sprint, which will be awesome. We'll probably be going for about 2 hours, I think. That's the schedule that I've made. And it generally seems to work well. It's what I used to do when I was doing just like regular sprints. Yeah, I am doing well. It's been a bit busy, but manageable, and I'm in a long weekend right now, which is very nice. A bit of a work break, 4 whole days, which is quite exciting to me. Okay, I've got my chat on my phone so I can watch. So I'm actually writing on a whole other computer because this one only is set up to have docs in like in Google Drive, and I don't like writing that way. Ever since I had a bad incident with some files just randomly deleting, I really don't like working in the cloud. So I have my other computer that I normally write on that I can just use like the full Office suite. So I'm going to be doing that. And if you see me like this, that's why. Happy Easter to you as well. Well, we always do something, which is, I guess it's just like a social Easter thing. Like my family is not, they're not religious at all, but like if anything, they're more sort of nature pagan-y. But we've always celebrated everything. Like we're big on Christmas and Easter and all of that. I think it's just because, well, I got this gene too. Like my mom and I both just have I guess like the too much gene. We both just want to do big themed things with decorating and food all the time. So any excuse to do that, we are right on board. So we are going to be doing some sort of Easter thing, like just a brunch with a couple friends. So nothing like crazy, but the food will be probably quite good. I know that there might be some sticky buns involved, and I always like that. What has been the most challenging writing project you have ever done? The one that really threw you out of your comfort zone? Um, it's hard to say. So I guess just short stories. So like I've been talking about this on my channel on and off for years. I cannot do short stories. They drive me nuts. So when I think comfort zone, I usually think of more challenging topics and themes and stuff, which isn't actually something that I have done. I always write what I want to write, so it winds up being something that's not challenging. But I have really been trying to write short stories because I know that they're valuable when you're getting your work out into the world. Like you're not always going to just publish a big novel. If you want to submit to things like anthologies and like digests and stuff like that, then you want short stories ready to go. And a lot of authors got their start by just, submitting short stories and having a lot of that out in the world. But even for the Stygian collection, I was not able to write a short story. I tried. I just could not get it together. But the thing is, I have zeroed in on what I think the problem is. It's that I'm not good at ending stories. So I write long novels because I never have an end in mind when I write them. I have no idea where they're going to go, and I do rough outlines, and then I get to the end eventually. Even if I sort of do have a rough conclusion. So with a short story, I feel like I could write a short story if I had a story concept. Like if I just went, oh yeah, let's write this beginning, this middle, and this is how it's all going to wind up. So when I started, I just started with a concept that I knew could fit into a short story, but I had no idea where it was going. So I failed, and I just wound up doing poetry, which is good. Yeah, poetry I can do. Short stories, no. So that's a challenge to me. I greatly admire anyone who can write short stories. So everyone in our anthology except me pretty much. No, there's one other poet in there. So I also wanted to submit them to just sort of level that out a bit. So we didn't just have one person with poetry. So we've got a couple more in there. You'd think trying to convey a plot in so few pages would be extremely challenging. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm very big on really getting into character and getting into descriptions. And I feel like you want a bit more shorthand for that when you're writing short stories. But there are a lot of short stories that leave things kind of open-ended. So I think that might be a good place for me to start. I just am too busy with other things right now that I can't focus on that too much. So that's the thing. Like I need a bit more mental space to try something new and challenging. And right now I'm just, well, today during sprints, I'm going to be editing a novel. I was supposed to be doing outlining, like purely outlining through camp for this new book that I want to work on, but I didn't have internet connection yesterday when I was out and I was going to write, and I just wound up working on this editing, and now I really want to edit. So I'm going to edit for a bit. It's camp. I can go back and forth. It's a lawless month. So we've got 5 people here. Hello to all of you silent joiners. So today we're going to do, I think, 3 15-minute sprints and then a 20 and a 30 if there's time. This is about when I wanted to start. So at the very least, we're going to do 3 15-minute and a 20. I'll just have to see how the 30 goes. I am a little bit headachy today, but I think it was because I like tightened my wig and I've untightened it. And I have my caffeine here, which I did not have until like I haven't had any caffeine yet today. So I think between the caffeine and the adjustment, I should be okay. In which case I might go a little bit over 4. Editing or writing, if you could do only one. Oh, writing. I'm not an editor. It's too, I just like doing all the writing. My mom is an editor. My mom is an excellent editor. So luckily I have her around to do that for me. But if it's to do with like what I like working on in my own work, I like equally. I like them equally because they both offer something different. When I'm writing, it's more just like writing my first draft. It's free flowing and it's just getting it out there. But it is also fun to go back in and tweak those paragraphs and go like, okay, this could be way prettier if I did it like this, that sort of thing. So let's see if I remember how to do this timer and this music, because it was working last time and I remember it was pretty easy. So that was nice. We're going to set this one for 15 minutes. Anyone who has not said hi yet, say hi. I don't bite. And let me know what you're working on today, because we're going to do a 15-minute sprint first and go from there. So we are going to start the timer now, and then I will fiddle with music. So in 15 minutes, I will be talking again, and I will stop in to see where we're all at. I'm not getting any sound through my headphones for the music I'm playing, so I'm listening to it on my phone, but it also means I can't see well, I can't hear, rather. I can't hear the beep of the timer when it goes off. So there's always something. I don't want to mess with my sound because then I risk messing with the sound that you're hearing. So I'm not going to touch it. I'm not touching it. I'm gonna leave it alone. Just gonna check your messages while we are on a break here. Hello to Dreaming Truth. Nice to have you here. And Sheraton, hello. I'm glad you could join. I know I posted that message about maybe coming on later, but I wound up changing my mind. There was something we were gonna go to, but it was just like it wasn't a good idea for our finances. So I'm just sticking with the normal time. I thought that was better anyway, especially since I had this scheduled on Discord and everything. Classical literature or mainstream fiction, you can only do one, like read it or write it. Cause I like, can you write classical literature now? Like I would think of it as something that is from a different time. My stuff is very inspired by classic literature, not A Time When Demons. That was just definitely like YA, draft it, put it out there, done. But the stuff I care about more, that I'm dedicating more time to, that is more classically inspired. So I guess I'm more a classical literature person, whether it's reading or, getting inspired to write stuff. Gentle music, ears changing colors, ladies and gentlemen, unintentional ASMR. That's counts as ASMR? Huh. I know nothing about ASMR really, because all I know is the sound side of it, which I hate. I'm one of those people who I like I know you either love it or it gets to you. I don't know if it's neutral. It's kind of like cilantro, although I am neutral on cilantro. But ASMR, like the sounds, eating sounds, stuff like that, it makes me I'm never angry. Like I'm not an angry person, but if I hear that, if I hear people eating, I want to destroy everything. I can't even describe it. It's just like a burning rage. Yeah, don't send me ASMR videos. But if there's like calm visual stuff, I guess I could probably get behind that. Let's I hope you're all having a nice weekend. I hope you are having a nice weekend. Mine is going well so far. You're asking, what is it like to live in Canada? Do you identify with your province or the country more? Is there any competition, ill feelings, resentment between provinces? As Sheraton says, that is a big topic. Yeah. First of all, I guess I should start by saying I would not well, I guess I can't really say that. I don't know everyone in Canada, so I'm not really, I don't know if I'm a good representative. That's just sort of my first assumption, because I'm not really someone who like gets out much and stuff like that. But my best take, I am usually quite connected to province. There isn't really that whole national pride quite as much as the States. This is all guessing because I mean I've never lived in the States, so I can't compare it. But the general feeling I see, like we have Canada Day, but it's not that big a deal, and a lot of places aren't even doing it. So it's not quite as important. And some provinces are very much their own little place. Like I live in Quebec right now. I used to live in Manitoba. And they all have a very different feeling to them. They're not sort of all combined, if you know what I mean. But Quebec is the only province that like the primary language is French, I think. So I always mix this up. New Brunswick, I think, is the one that is purely bilingual, whereas Quebec is like primarily French. And a lot of our imports are European, whereas the rest of Canada has different stuff like that. We have very different liquor laws. It's a very different little place. And when I was in Manitoba, it was also very much its own little world, but in a different way, just because that place is well, I was in Winnipeg, and it's the biggest city there, but it is very small town mentality. So it's and they've got this whole thing where, like, if you move away, they always tell you you'll be back, and they have there. It's just not a great place to live. It's dangerous, and there's not a lot of interesting things there. And their claim to fame is like Slurpees and stabbings, and the fact that it gets colder than Mars, like -50. So you'll be there and you have to really stand up for the fact that you're there. So they get very defensive is the word I'm looking for. Very defensive about like you can't leave, you'll be back. Haha, you can't, why would you go out there? We're better. And I'm sorry to say this. I got a lot of that when I left, and I've heard from a lot of other people that they got the same, which is not to say that, people there are bad. I think that's one of the best things about that province is the people. Like, when I go back, there are so many great people who I visit, and I love everyone who I left behind there. Yeah, like Sheridan said, this is a very big topic, so I could ramble on about it for quite a while. There is, and there's some topics I wouldn't want to get into because they're very like racially charged. One of the big problems in Manitoba is with the way the Indigenous population is treated and relations between the like reserves up north, and we've got all of the stuff with residential schools, so it's a lot. I'm just going to read your next comment. So you said, as an American truck driver, I used to run loads up into Ontario and BC. Very nice people who rarely spoke about political affairs. Yeah, it's funny because I always looked at sort of my surroundings as not very political up until about 2016, and then it got very political here. So I think it's just as political as anywhere else these days, although for me, I really try to remain fairly neutral. If you notice, I don't talk about anything on my channel or on my social media. I just don't. I like that old rule of sort of keeping your religion and your politics to yourself, and I respect everyone and welcome everyone in, unless I see examples of them doing really terrible things. So I think that's sort of my best way to put that as I go into a whole bunch of stuff here. Sheraton added, some Quebecers are extremely proud of their province, but also that could bring xenophobia if it goes to extremes. Yeah, there a feud between Quebec and Ontario that I wouldn't know as much about, but there are like language issues between French and English with Quebec. That is a big thing. As an Anglophone, we have an extremely different approach to province pride. Oh, hello to Pamela. Canada is an amazing country. Yeah, like I love Canada. The thing with me is I would love to live in Europe, but I know there are a ton of problems there, and I'm just looking at, I want to run around out on the moors. So my want to live in Europe is fairly two-dimensional. I'm probably more likely to wind up further out east into like the Maritimes, which I like a lot. Hello to Dystopia Utopia Autumn. Haven't seen your stuff in a while. I'm sick now and behind Nano about 2,100 words out of 10,000. Well, welcome back. It's nice to see you. Thank you for joining. Rewriting Cracked Halo on chapter 6. Nice. Okay, so now that I've babbled about Canada again, this is like a theme. I'm going to be like a Canadian representative at this point. I can say that a lot of stereotypical Canadian things I haven't really experienced, except in very specific little pockets of the country. When people talk, about a boot, I don't think I talk that way. Maybe I do, but I don't think I do. I remember when I went to San Diego, I was talking pretty much the same as everyone else there, and I thought that was very wild. When I was like 13, I thought it was crazy. Pamela, I am here and working on Stygian collection edits all day. Yay! Oh yeah, I have to, for any Stygian members who are here, I am gonna reach out again soon about you getting your longer bios to me. I realized I should have done that, but it's not a mega rush. It's okay. I actually had a couple things, and this is as good a time as any to just mention while we have some people here, and we're gonna sprint again soon. Just very soon. Just an update that we do have 38 days left on the Stygian collection Kickstarter. We have 29 backers right now, which is awesome to have all that support. So if any backers are here, thank you, thank you, thank you. We're nearly at the point that covers Kickstarter's fees, which is kind of like, but we're doing well, and it's chugging along. 38 days is great. I think I talked about this last week. I've introduced a tier called Dollar Darlings because I really wanted to make sure that people know that any little bit is genuinely great, because even those dollars, it helps the algorithm. And there are regular donators on Kickstarter who hang out looking for projects, and the more little donations are in there, or big donations, it pushes it out more. And you can also get the little badges about like projects we love, which is sort of a thing that gets you more notice on Kickstarter. So keeping that page active is really important. I also wanted to mention there's a level called In on the Ground Floor where you get a digital copy of the book. And for 9 more days, you can also get an exclusive Stygian pin. There are only 6 left though. So 6 more people in the next 9 days can jump on that tier, get the digital copy, and also get a pin that generally only goes out to authors who are working with Stygian Society or like very, very top donors. So that's where we're at with Kickstarter right now. If you haven't checked out all of our author announcements and excerpts, they're pretty great, and you can find them on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. It's easiest to look through them all on Instagram. Oh, and we are running an Easter contest right now, so we're announcing that on the 11th. If you go on Instagram, make sure to like us. It's stygian.society on Instagram. So like us, comment on the post, tag a friend, and share it, and you could win a t-shirt or a tote bag. So let's sprint before we lose someone. Oh, we got a new person. Hello to anyone who has just joined. Sheraton, the only person I've heard say a boot was from Nova Scotia. Yeah, like Trailer Park Boys, that sort of area in what's it called? I forget. It's by Halifax. It's like across it's right next to Halifax. That's an area with that. Thunder Bay is also an area. You get these little pockets where you get the super sort of classic stereotypical Canadian. I think more of us Americans could spend some time in Canada. We could learn how to be nicer people. There's plenty of not nice people in Canada, but I appreciate that stereotype. It is nice. It's nice to hear. I've had some fun experiences with not so nice people, but I think as the world evolves with the internet, places are going to be more the same everywhere, which I think sucks. I like the idea of, traveling to Europe and absolutely everything's different, but that's not exactly something I can stop. So I just, I like seeing more different things, different cultures, but as we're all, brought closer together, we're going to be more similar, which I'm sure has its positives as well. Dartmouth, yes, Dartmouth. That's where across from Halifax, you get a bit of that Canadian vibe. On that note, I'm gonna jump into another 15-minute sprint. Oh, I forgot to say how many words I got. I'm editing, but I am rewriting a lot, so I'm counting my words. I did 402 last time, so let's see if we can get the same amount. And apologies if you hear any construction. We live on a busy main through street, and it never stops, ever. Doesn't matter. It's just, it doesn't stop. Okay. I'm going to start our timer. 15 minutes, and I will check back in and see how everyone's doing after that. Time is up on that one, and I got totally stuck. I hit 3 paragraphs that I just sort of started reworking, and I hated everything about them. And then I started researching the city that I'm writing in and looking up inspiration. So I only really got like 50 words, but yeah, I think I sort of know the direction I'm in now. I have an inspiration image up that should help a little bit lead into the next part. How did everyone else do? I hope better. Although, I mean, if you research, that's very good too. It's a good thing to be doing. Just gonna check in on the comments here. What is on the shelves behind you? They look too thin to be books. Those are records. We have quite a few. I mean, most of them are not mine, but I'm working on my own little segment of them. We are vinyl types. Hello, Morningstar. How's it going? Glad you could make it. ASMR isn't only about overweight truckers chomping on potato chips or poodles slurping puppy chow. There are some fantastic art channels. Well, that's cool. Because yeah, mouth noises are not it for me. Finally caught a stream. Thoughts before REM. Hello, nice to see you. I'm glad you caught a stream. Hopefully I'll be more regular with these. I see ink on the inner right forearm every tattoo. Oh, I've got a lot. This is my, oh, I can never show this one because of like how my arm moves. Here. That's my Tudor rose. It's pretty simple. I got it when I was like 18. It's one of my older ones. I'm actually thinking of getting it redone. The pearls are from Anne Boleyn's necklace. It's sort of it's my I used to call it my feminist tattoo because it was for Anne as well as her cousin, who were both killed by King Henry VIII. And I was very fascinated by that part of history. I still am, but I went through a very big Tudor phase. But yeah, they all do have stories, that's for sure. Except my bats. I have ankle bats, which I just got because I was working at a tattoo shop and wanted bats. Like that's it. All the other ones have some sort of story, and mine generally focus on themes of like life and death, and eternity. So eternity is kind of a big theme. I'm writing a whole series called Eternity, but yeah, my first one was a Ankh. I have a whole like Lord of the Rings thing in Tengwar on my back that says all we have to decide is what to do with the time that is given us. I have It's Only Forever, Not Long at All from David Bowie, Labyrinth. I've got tarot themed ones on my thighs, which are Lovers and Temperance. Is there anything else? I think that's pretty much it. I want more. I have plans for more, but generally it's an eternity theme, and the Tudor rose needs to be fixed. It needs to be brightened up a bit. It's my only color one, which I kind of regret, but I find that if you get a tattoo where there's part of it you don't like that much, it winds up just being a part of you, so you never really regret it unless it's really bad. I mean, I've seen some ones out there that people should genuinely regret. Which wife's death was the most tragic? Definitely Anne. I feel for Anne Boleyn a lot. Although it's hard to say which is more tragic because they were all awful. They were, well, both two beheaded. Those two ones were awful, especially with what is Catherine? It's been a while since I've read into this. I used to be like on about all of this. So it was, what was her last name? Because there were two Catherines. I'm just gonna, I will be able to talk about this better when I just sort this out quickly. Spouse Catherine. You look up Henry VIII. Spouse, more. Yeah. So you had yeah, Catherine Howard is she was Anne Boleyn's cousin. I don't know if it was like a direct cousin, but she was one of her cousins. She was related to her, and that one was kind of particularly awful because she was so young and she had other people who she was interested in, and wives who were older and knew what they were doing. Like Anne Boleyn was a bit of a pawn for her family, but she also knew what she was doing, whereas this Catherine was basically a child, and then Henry was a total psycho who got angry at her for, you know, having interest in people her own age. And he was also just a paranoid psychopath. I have a theory that because he was very different when he was younger, I think that when he had a riding accident, which resulted in a head injury. And I think that he got brain damage because his personality changed a lot. And I think he became so psychotic because he had brain damage. That's my theory. I don't know if it's my theory originally, but I did come up with that when I was reading it. I'm sure other people have said it as well. Oh, we've got 10 people here now. Hello to anyone who has just joined. We are doing sprints. We are talking in between sprints. We've done 2 15-minute sprints so far. We are going to do another 15-minute, I think. Although if I'm looking at the rough schedule I had written out, it'll probably, because I know some people do prefer longer sprints and I want to get a longer one in. So I think we're going to go right into a 20-minute sprint right away. And then we will end it off starting around 3:30 and do a half hour to wrap it up and end things. Just since I mentioned it between last sprints and there are some people here now, I won't say the whole spiel again, but if you have not yet checked out Kickstarter for the Stygian collection, please do. I'm going to, when I go on the next sprint, I'll take a second to link it in the chat because we are still actively raising money for the collection. There's 38 days left and there's a special level right now that you can only get for 9 more days where you get a really cool little Stygian pin. So you should check that out. And we're doing an Easter contest on Instagram, but I'll put those links in the description there. I'm in the editing phase after finishing my first draft. Any advice on self-edits for second and third drafts before pro edits? So I've actually done a video on this. It's one of those things that's very personal, so I find it kind of difficult to talk about. But the way I do it is I'll do 2 more edits. The first one I do, first I let it rest. I write, I get the draft done, I leave it alone for as long as I can. And then my first edit on it, I will get it printed at Staples and coil bound because I personally work better with that physical copy that I can just sort of go over and scribble things out. I really like working that way. And during that first phase, I will get a read aloud app to read the story to me. So I'm hearing it in someone else's voice as I have that paper in front of me. And I'm getting all of the, like the most obvious things that stick out. So as I'm hearing it, I'm like, that sentence was wrong, that word is spelled wrong. Like you hear the like Android voice saying it, and it's, you can tell it's wrong and you can skim over it very easily. And I find that that is a good way to just do a super rough edit. And then well, actually I guess I do 3 edits, sorry, because of what I'm doing right now. I do my draft, then I go back in and I make sure I like my draft, and then I let it rest. So I'm doing that with this. It's also kind of different with depending on what I'm writing. So this Synterra piece that I'm working on, it has been going for years. So it needs more edits. So that is kind of an optional one, that going back in and making sure you like the draft. So anyway, have it read back to you, go over it in print. And then after that, you want to not be listening and you want to just go over every single little paragraph. And I find that by doing that, going over it twice, once with it read aloud to you and just sort of free flowing, you have something that's good enough to present to an editor. And if you want, like if you don't consider yourself to be a very good reviewer or editor of your own work, which I know is the case with a lot of people, because it can be hard to look at your own stuff properly, you can ask a friend who's not even like a pro editor. If you have a friend who wants to read your stuff and wants to go over it, you can get them to go over it as well and point out things that they catch. So that might be a good step to add. But I do find the main thing is you don't want to over edit. So that's what I would say, like figure out your number that you think is reasonable, 2 or 3. And once you're finished that, don't let yourself go back into it. sign it, hand it off to the professional editor, because you can keep going over things forever, like forever and ever and ever and ever, and obsess about it till you lose your mind. 124 words, excellent. Was it that Henry was desperate for an heir, or did he have a crazy wandering eye? Well, both. Henry had one male child, which was given to him by his, I say given because that's sort of how that was all put forward. Like, I've given you a son. His favorite wife, who came after Anne Boleyn, and she died. She gave him a son, but the son died. And he was just, a guy who generally produced daughters. The funny thing is, his daughters were pretty powerful. So if he had been, well, he was of his era also, right? So I think every king in that era had a wandering eye, that's for sure. They didn't all carry it out the way Henry did, though. Generally, they would have their queen, and she got to stay queen, and they would have things on the side. Exploring Harley, hello. You've been watching on Haunted Montreal. Oh, thank you. And you love my style of storytelling. Keep it up. I'm a paranormal investigator. Oh, awesome. I'm glad you like it. We haven't been able to do as many videos. We switched it up to every second week. So I've been worried that we're losing people, but it seems that people are still watching because I enjoy doing them a lot. It's just, Dr. Mab and I both have day jobs, and it's easier for us to make those videos good if we do them every second week. Do you have a channel for your investigation? I'm asking because I love checking that out. Also, where are you located? I'm guessing I could probably just click your name that you're writing, but I'll check it out later for sure. So thank you for watching. Happy Saturday, Margaret. Thanks for stopping by. Alpha and beta readers. Yeah. When I mentioned friends for editing, it's similar to alpha and beta reading, but I think a little bit more technical. So you could ask friends to just do a technical edit if they feel comfortable with that, just to get someone else in before the pros. But alpha and beta readers are a really good thing to have as well. Was wondering if 2 self-edits before beta, then a few pro edits would be where I wanted to go. Just seems expensive. Yeah, I think that does sound good. And unfortunately, like, editing can be expensive, but it's so worth it. It's really, really worth it. If you want, you could just go with one pro edit, depending where you're at with your with your writing. If it's your first novel and you're just sort of testing the waters and getting it out into the world and stuff like that, you could do one pro edit. It also depends how you're publishing, because if your book is picked up by a traditional publisher, a lot of the times they'll have an editor as well. So you can get it edited before submitting, and then they'll be going through it again. So that sort of depends on that. And yes, the question about alpha and beta has been answered. One is paid and the other is not. Yeah, beta is usually free, although there are people who charge for beta reading and just sort of lump it all into one whole thing. Oh, based in Quebec. Okay, cool. Cool. Oh, I'm so glad that that the Haunted Montreal stories are helping you find spots. We want to do investigations too. I've actually got a whole suitcase of ghost hunting tools right beside me here, and I haven't been able to use any of them because we kept reaching out to locations and they were turning us down. So it's just become a bit of a headache. So we want to plan something at some point. We might just go somewhere outdoors when once the Stygian collection is published, and that is a little bit relaxed and just managing itself. Okay, so I said we're going to do a 20 and then a 30, so we should get into that. I am hopefully my brain just came back to my writing, oh, right, it's those paragraphs that were giving me trouble. I'm going to get back to my trouble paragraphs and hopefully be able to tackle them this time. The thing is, they could be really, really pretty, and now I'm over focusing on that, so we'll see how I do. Please show ghost hunting tools. Okay, hang on. I don't know how easy these are to access here. I have so much stuff. But I have a case. And a lot of these I've yet to figure out properly. For anyone who doesn't know, I have a second channel, which I run for the tourist organization Haunted Montreal. The owner is a historian who writes a lot of blogs on haunted locations in mainly Montreal, sometimes in Quebec. And I saw the blogs and I was like, we have to do videos of these. So I've been doing video forms of his blogs. So we've got EMF meter. I have a spirit box, a little one. Some, let's see, infrared thermometer. I've got a infrared camera here too. And this guy, oh, it's just like a power pack. And I also have a like second EMF meter somewhere. So I am a spooky nerd. Oh, hey, Alan, how's it going? Nice to see you. Doing the Old Palais and Assumption this Monday. Ooh, yeah. Like honestly, what are they called? 13 Spirits Paranormal. I've done a little bit of stuff with them, but I think it would be best to meet up with someone who's already doing investigations to get this started, just because we're so very new to it. So we would definitely take you up on that offer at some point. Thank you. Got the works. Yeah, I just went all out when I decided I wanted to do it, but I haven't been able to do as much as I would like to. Just, old buildings, pretty much, not any actual proper investigation. Anywhere near St. Remy? I don't know. I'd have to look it up. I'm in the main city of Montreal, and I'm originally from Winnipeg, Manitoba, and I have not got outside of Montreal much. I got to go to a chalet last when was it? Last summer. Yeah, it was the other camp during June. Yeah, so I got to go to a chalet, but that's it. I haven't really explored much. I've been to like Mercier and Chateauguay, but I would like to get out more, but I have no driver's license, so that makes it a little bit difficult. I'm hoping to get my driver's license at some point, but it's very expensive in Montreal, so that's fun. Ghost beware, Holly is armed and dangerous. Maybe. I'm also worried that that I'm like a dampener, because my dad is, and that's a whole other story. Maybe I'll have my dad on to tell his ghost stories at some point on Haunted Montreal. That would be interesting. But actually, since we're chatting so much, we're gonna do one more sprint. I've decided we're gonna do a 30-minute, I think, or is that gonna then leave us to? Oh, Sheraton, St. Remy is south of Montreal, not far. Oh, okay, cool. So if we do 20 minutes, sorry, I'm just like mathing here. That takes us to 3:30. Okay. What do we think? Do you want to do one more 15 and then a half hour? Or just like 1/2 hour? What is everyone feeling? Are you feeling shorter sprints or longer sprints? Let me know and I'll figure it out from there if we're going to do like a couple short ones or a longer one or something. Kind of good. All right, 1,400 within 7 months. Awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna look into your channel after this. While I wait for people to weigh in on sprints though, I'm gonna post these links for things that I was talking about. So please do check out the Kickstarter if you haven't yet. Like I was saying, even $1 is great, and the rewards are awesome. So it's not just like, you're donating into the creative void. There's some really cool rewards, including a pizza party. So if or you can just look at it as pre-ordering the collection. And if you like hoarder if you like horror, you're gonna want to pre-order this collection. So here also is our Instagram, where we're running an Easter contest. So you can win a shirt, either a black one or a white one, or you can win a tote bag. You get a choice of those three. Reading Alice Munro. Oh, cool. I've never read Alice Munro. I know my mom likes her. I would have a long one, but also short ones work. I'll be doing this all day. Bring in your dad, ghost stories for Easter. I'd have to phone him, and then this would probably go on, for the rest of the afternoon and evening, because he has a lot to say. But yeah, maybe, I forget who it was who was bringing up Maybe it was you, Steven. I can't remember. Someone was bringing up ghost stories for camp last week, so maybe we can do a ghost story theme camp to wrap up the month, because next week I have a guest on, but the weekend after, so like next Saturday, maybe to wrap up camp, we could do ghost story sprints if everyone likes the idea of that, and have a few people on. I think that would be cool. So if anyone wants to do that and wants to sprint as well as tell ghost stories, let me know, and maybe you can get involved in it. We can do a whole theme. Okay, so since Sheraton weighed in, let's see. I'm so torn. I'm going to do a 15 minutes since we seem to be having a good conversation going here. We've got 12 people. It's fun to talk. So we're going to do a 15-minute, and then after that, either a 15 or a 20, depending on how much our break in between is. So that's what we're doing. Just sub to your Instagram. Yay, thank you. If you do want to win any of those things, just comment on the Easter contest post and then share the post either in your story or in your on your feed. Is that what it's called now? I don't know. Just share it. That's much appreciated. I'm gonna get our timer going for another 15 minutes. So get ready to write. Time. All right. That one was better. It was better. I got 118 words in and I like where it's going, so I fixed my problem. And I think I have a lot of chat to catch up on. So let me know how you did on that one. And I am just going to take a little look here. Yeah. So, oh my gosh, you're all talking here. This is great. Yeah, sorry for that music in there. I always have a browser open where YouTube is like automatically muted when I'm answering comments and I'm running these, but I opened a different browser so I could switch onto the Haunted Montreal channel, and that one did not have things muted. So apologies if you jumped at that. There was a haunted mansion or haunted woods, I think. Just because there are so many other unknown factors too, at least in a mansion, you can sort of like you can sort of get an idea of the floor plan, and you can turn on a light and you can make a room that is more of a safe space. Like a lot of the time when you see investigations in homes, you'll see that they have one room that is designated like a safe area, something like that, that they can return to when they're not in the worst zones. Yeah, no Iron Maiden or Tool, sorry. I definitely do like historical places. Sorry, I'm gonna read these so everyone knows what I'm saying. Sheraton said Haunted Woods scarier. Yeah. Stephen, you thought Haunted Woods as well. Always run. Yeah, you can also run out of the Haunted Mansion. That's the thing. Like the woods are just like woods can be kind of scary even if they're not haunted. I love the woods. I love being outdoors, but like woods at night, unknown. Alan, Maiden is the loudest concert ever. My ears are still ringing. I will challenge you on that. Have you heard of Mertzbau? I'm gonna guess that maybe Sheraton has of people here. I will tell you, Mertzbau is a noise musician from Japan, and the my my ex builds synthesizers, and he took me to this show once, and I forget, someone was opening who we knew or something. It was like more manageable, and he told me before, he's like, when Mertzbau comes on, we're gonna see how long we can last. And I was like, that sounds hilarious. Like, what is it bad? What is it? As he was preparing to come on, there were people like shoving in the most intense earplugs you've ever seen. This was at a venue called the Pyramid in Winnipeg, and it's a downtown, yeah, like downtown-ish venue. We lasted about 8 minutes, I think. And we had to leave. We had earplugs in, and it was shaking my skeleton. Like I can't even describe it. And as we left, we couldn't stop laughing because it was just so ridiculous, because you had all these people in there who were like hardcore noise fans, right? And they're standing there. Some of them didn't have earplugs in, and they're just like, you could see they're suffering. They're like not even enjoying this. And as we walked away, we heard this going. We had to park like far away because parking in downtown Winnipeg is awful. We heard him for like 4 blocks to the car and just could not stop laughing. So look up Mertzbau if you want to die. Graveyard in the woods, that's fun. I love going to the graveyard. My place is near the mountain graveyard here, and we were there at night on Halloween. Like I love it. It's my comfort comfort place. Not to give away my age, but I saw Iron Maiden decades ago and they still ran all over the stage, tons of energy and funny smelling cigarettes in the audience. So I'm gonna try to skip through this a little bit because I don't want to like just make you all sit here listening to me talk about the conversation that already happened. Hauntings, probably the same age. Metallica, I think Metallica is coming here. There are so many bands coming here. I'm very excited. We're seeing at the end of April, like the last 2 weeks of April, there's Black Flag, Placebo, and Skinny Puppy. I have wanted to see Skinny Puppy and Placebo for so long, and I honestly never thought that I would get a chance to. So I'm really excited. And then The Cure, who I'm seeing for a second time in June. Age is just a number for topics like this, definitely. Oh no, I just skipped ahead. See, I have a really bad perception of age, and I was just talking with my friend about this yesterday. Like I can't tell, I have no concept of what old looks like or is, because my parents both look like 20 years younger than they are. So I still I would say their ages, but I know that my mom, or she was here, and she would be upset if I outed her age. But I think she should brag about it because she doesn't look her age at all. But when you see that age and they don't look like what other people think, I have no idea. I have no idea what any age is supposed to look like. And apparently I get a lot of stuff where people don't take me seriously because they think I'm like in my early 20s. So it's it can be fun or it can suck. Anyone who's seen Rush has my admiration. Oh, Rush is such a, I always think about Trailer Park Boys when I think about Rush. It's such a Canadian thing. Hello Kitty muffs. No, this is not Hello Kitty. What kind of stress have you been under? You have a few more gray hairs. These are blue, sir. These are blue hairs, sir. Welcome, by the way. It's good to see you, Jonathan. And hello to Jen. Sorry for the delayed hellos here. Okay, I am caught up on the chat now. Mostly editing, but enter 95. You are cute. Oh, thank you. Yeah, Muse is loud. I've seen them twice now. That was one that I thought I was never going to see unless I was in like Europe. So I'm happy to have seen Muse. They're amazing. Skinny Puppy, yes. I'm so excited, and it's their last tour, which makes me sad, but I'm glad to see them. Okay, so where are we at? We are at 3:37. So we'll have time for another sprint for sure. If you didn't see already, I'm gonna keep shilling this. Pinned comment in the chat now is the Kickstarter link, so please check it out if you are able. What else? There's something else I was gonna touch base on here, but I can't remember. It can't have been all that important. And if I remember it while we're sprinting, I will write it down. Ooh, people are hooting and hollering outside. I think it's really nice out today or something like that. I'm going to get outside after this. Although I also kind of want to have a nap. I don't know. We'll see. I do share this with you, Holly. No one can guess my age. This is why I always say I'm eternal and have fun with it instead. Like that is the best thing to do with it, right? Just be like, yeah, I'm 400 years old. It's like that thing about if you're not having kids, it's more exciting to say I'm the end of my line. So I'm trying to work that into my my conversation. And when people ask about that, I'm trying to remind myself that that's what I should answer. Okay, so since Muse and Evanescence just passed, yeah, I was going to go. I had wanted to catnap intensifies. Oh man, we're taking care of this really cute little black cat right now. I would love to have a nap with him. That would be great. That might be a good idea. But yeah, I was wanting to see that Muse show. I was going to bring my mom because she loves them and she hasn't seen them, but the tickets were just too much, and it was still when I was on EI, and I could not reason it out. So maybe if they come back again, then I can take her. I hope, because I know she would love to see them, and they put on such an incredible show. The first time I saw them was in Toronto, actually, like at the Budweiser stage there. And then I saw them as part of, what's it called? Osheaga. So I saw them twice in one summer, which was kind of fun. I guess for this last sprint, since we only have 20 minutes, we'll just do another 15. I like 15-minute sprints are just my ideal, honestly. They're the perfect amount to get in a good chunk of writing and just like it's really good for productivity, I think. I like half an hour, but when you're zoned in for half an hour, it is harder to pull yourself out. So 15 minutes seems to be a sweet spot, I think. Cat purring ass. Okay. Okay, cat purring ASMR, that's a yes. I can get behind that. That's good. I could do that. That would make me happy. Yeah. You are going to bring your mom. That's my mom, by the way. Commenting in all caps. I told you that, Mom. I'm pretty sure I told you that I wanted to. Like, their tickets were insanely expensive. It was more than The Cure. I just brought my entire fam. Oh my gosh. Wow. That's amazing. They're so worth it. I hope they come back again next summer, because then I'll take my mom. Okay. Yeah. All right. Let's do a last 15-minute sprint. I mean, feel free to keep chatting or sprint, and I'll check back after, and we will talk one more time before I sign off. Mom enters chat. Yeah. Concerts are, oh yeah, they are a lot right now. They're nuts. I really appreciate Robert Smith because he has been getting very involved with how the sales are going with the Cure concert and saying like, this is too much, it's ridiculous. And he actually did a refund for people who bought tickets like out of pocket. And at first, like, I got it back and it was $5. I was like, oh well, I mean, that's not too much. But then I was thinking, obviously, if you spread that out amongst everyone who purchased, like, that is a pretty big investment to give back to fans, and it's very my mom guessed I wasn't worth an expensive concert. Dude, I was gonna fly you somewhere for your birthday and you said no. So gotta bang some keys on my ancient Lenovo and pretend I can write. A pleasure. People, have a nice Easter. You have a nice Easter too. Thank you for stopping by. Okay, before my mom scolds me anymore, I am going to start the timer here, and so we can get into one more sprint. And hopefully get some good words in. So get ready to write. We're writing, and we'll chat, and then I will have to sign off for the day. So make this one worth it. Or went off. I didn't hear it. I was really getting into it this time. Feel like I'm getting my mojo back. Checking my words. 285 for that one. Much better note to end on. I might keep doing some writing in my own time after this, since I don't have anything solid. Well, I mean, the usual marketing. There is that to do. I have a couple articles I need to write. How did everyone else do? We're at 3:58, so just coming up on the end of our sprint session, sadly. Looking back here. Oh, my mom stopped scolding me. That's nice. The Nutcracker. Yeah, I was thinking of switching that one, but I was like, whatever. I should get my claw manicure again. That would suit the cat ears. Still have 8 people left here. I hope that you're all getting some good writing in. I think this has been a pretty fruitful session. And now I just want to focus on editing Centera through camp. I want this book to get out into the world so badly, so badly. So as we wind things up, one final reminder to please look at Kickstarter. Donate if you can. If you can't donate right now, bookmark it and donate in the future if you can. We still have 38 days to go. So there is a good window where you will be able to do that and support us. If you absolutely can't donate, which I totally understand, even $1, if you can't, I get it. I've been there. If you share it on social media, that would also mean the world. Or, share it with friends, family, directly. If you believe in the project, please support it somehow, because I believe in it a lot. It's amazing what all the authors have come through with, and I'm excited to promote them. I've been having so much fun sharing the excerpts and bios. It's really cool to see that all come together, and our artist is just so good. She sent us some of her drawings that are finished already, like smaller ones, and they're perfect. They're perfect. We're going to be getting together and working on a mock-up of the book this next Friday, and that should be pretty cool. And we'll put that out on like photos from that out on Kickstarter. So if you're following the Kickstarter, then you can see that update and sort of behind the scenes stuff. My mom, only because I like you. Well, I should hope so. 185 for Sheraton. Excellent. Hello, Golnath. Thank you for stopping by. I hope I pronounced that right. Golnath. That's the problem with being live. You see people's names and you're like, oh no. You're a friend of Ian's and you love my creative energy. That's so sweet. Thank you. Thank you for stopping by. I hope that you watch my channel and come by for other sprints. So far, I do them every Saturday. Recently, I took a bit of a break, but I'm kind of getting back into the swing of things. Sometimes we do creative conversations where I have a guest or two, but when I don't have someone scheduled, then I just come on myself and we do some writing together. I did. Okay, awesome. Is the cover in progress as well? I saw that the current cover is a placeholder. Yeah, it is a placeholder right now. That will be finished later, likely. So she has a deadline of the end of near the end of May for the bigger pieces, since we're doing 3 title page pieces as well as the cover, and she's going to be collaborating with our graphic designer on that as well. So that's going to come together a little bit later, but I am going to start releasing some of the smaller pieces. We are also launching our TikTok account. That is not one that I will be running. We have a social media manager who's working on some stuff, and they are going to be coming in to take that over. They know more about TikTok than I do and understand that whole landscape. So they're going to be doing some things with like some stock video and also our artist's work, and I'm giving them like pretty much free reign to be creative with that. So I'm excited to see what they come together with. And I think come up with too much energy drink. So they are going to be putting something out probably in the next week. So even if you're not a big TikTok fan, I'll probably be posting those links and you can at least look at those and see what we're doing over there because I think it'll be pretty cool. So I think that is it for now. If you want more sprints during the week, get on Discord. I kind of flopped this past week, but I'm gonna be better this upcoming week. Tuesday and Thursday, we run them from 6 to 8 p.m. I guess I should post the Discord link for anyone who does not have it. So give me 1 second. And oh God, I'm switching between Mac and Windows, and my brain is like, what keys? What? Who? Oh, I lost a subscriber while we were doing this. That's too bad. I guess I'm annoying. So Discord, here is the Discord link for anyone who is not already there. Join us. It's a really, really nice community. Everyone is super supportive. We get a lot done. Even when I fail to show up for sprints, other people are there sprinting, sharing their work, asking for advice, giving advice. So if you want a writing community, it's a good one. So great little live. Thank you. I try. But yeah, I guess that is it for today. Check the Kickstarter, enter the Instagram contest, follow Stygian Society everywhere to see what we're doing. We have lots of really cool things coming up. Support all of the authors that we're promoting. And yeah, I will see you next weekend, again, 2 to 4 p.m. Eastern, right here on YouTube. And with that, I hope that you all continue to have a weekend that is